What's good? It's Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
This is not
Not another damn podcast.
presented by
My damn
my damn
self.
self. 351 episode
Yeah, 351. Went by fast.
51, kid. Also going by fast this month of February. Last week of February. We're almost in March, damn it. Been
This year just like, okay,
yeah,
January was like blink, February blink. Like it's gonna be March, April, May, June. Like it's gonna do like that because
we are
I
almost in
mean
March already. It's
I
crazy.
can't. So all your goals that you've been like, I want to do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do like
2024 is my year. We almost 3 months in.
almost a quarter done.
Definitely. You sure is
Now,
your year?
damn, that's sad. I mean, granted, February is a shorter month, but still,
You got that
it just
extra day this year. It's a leap year.
got
So
the extra day. It was a leap year, so we got the extra day, and just the one day, the other day where like the temperature dropped because it was a little bit of
that
snow.
fake snow, yeah, that was Saturday, I think. Friday or
Yeah,
Saturday. One of
Friday into Saturday, they did that.
I woke up and I saw the snow on the ground. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, it's
Friday
snowing.
night
Yeah,
it
I didn't even
started
know. Yeah, I was like,
started flurrying because I was
I didn't
outside
even
Friday
know until
night,
the next day. Yeah, I was in all day, so Friday. So yeah,
and
Saturday I
then the
looked out the
temperature
window. I was like,
dropped.
oh, it snowed and shit.
Because I was outside, I could feel the temperature dropping. I'm like, yep. I'm like, yep, someone's gonna get sick because it's that weird weather where like the other day it was like almost 70 degrees or whatever.
Oh, we got
And
one
then
of those coming up Tuesday, I believe. I think the high
yep,
is
and
like
I
67.
saw somebody outside pumping gas with shorts on and a windbreaker. Why?
We got one of those near 70-degree days coming up, kid.
Why? You can't do that. It's still Chicago and it's still winter. I don't care if it's 70 degrees in winter. It's still Chicago. So dress in your layers, layer up appropriately. If you're hot, take a layer off. If you're cold, put a layer on. Just layer yourself up. Otherwise, you're going to be in bed and you're going to be you're going to be doing that. You're going to be hitting one of those
All of that.
and take your vitamins. Take your vitamins and do your teas and all that type of stuff. That's the advice I give.
Good. Sound advice, damn it.
Such a mom now.
Mention leap year, which also means we're in an election year. Like leap year, that's how you know. Our leap year, election year, and the Summer
The bit,
Olympics all happen the same year. That's how you know. Like yeah, they all are.
yeah.
It's like every 4 years you get leap year, your presidential election, and Summer Olympics. It all happens together. And we're getting closer and closer to the rematch nobody asked for. It's becoming more and more apparent because Trump just won South Carolina, which is Nikki Haley's home state, and like trounced her. Like, yeah, it wasn't even close. It's like, yeah, because now it's down to the last two. Like Nikki Haley is just staying in there. Just she needs to stop wasting people's money. It's like because
Yeah.
you got no path to the White House. It's like
Yeah. Stop
but
trying to
but
waste your
people,
contributors'
yeah,
money.
yeah, they just she
Who's
might
sending
stay.
her
I'm gonna give her another week. She might stay in one more week and then
her
drop
money?
out.
Yeah. Who the hell is still sending her money to this
Motherfuckers
cafe?
that don't like Trump. I guess that's the only
Yes.
one that's like they want Trump out of there. But she's like, because all the other ones they dropped out one by one, like Pence and Tim Scott and
Man,
Vivek Ramaswamy and DeSantis. They are dropping
he
out,
dropped out like the next day. Like DeSantis dropped out immediately.
and Vivek dropped out pretty. He was the last one to drop before this now is this Trump and Nikki Haley and shit. He ain't really campaigning. That's how little he takes her seriously. Like they haven't done no debates because it would just be those two now. So like, and Trump wasn't even showing up to the debates before. So it would just be a town hall with Nikki Haley. Like it wouldn't even be a debate because he wasn't even showing up to the debates before. He's like, I'm not doing it. Well, I guess when you got the court dates, you can't make debates and shit. So but he wasn't even showing
That
up to
part.
the debates and shit.
But this is honestly the like no one asked for this.
We're gonna get Trump Biden part two.
No one asked for this. This is the sequel no one wanted. Some sequels you want, other sequels it's like meh.
With Trump Biden too, without Pence. Like California Love Part 2 without
Right.
Drake.
Okay. This is just so
Here's a theory
both.
why I think she's staying in too, like Nikki Haley, because she's hoping to if she get a default nomination. I say Trump does go to jail. It's like his what? So yeah, he'd be the last one stand and say, "I'm here." It's like yeah, that's what
I'm
I'm saying.
here.
She might just be hanging out just for that reason. It's like say, "Hey, I can be president." She might just be.
He
It's like
wants the
see, she has.
consolation prize.
Other than that, she has no path. It's like you got like destroyed in your home state. It's like
That's like basically when you're like trying to get in the playoffs, and you're like, okay, so if this team loses and then they lose and then they lose, I can go to the
I
playoffs.
can
It's
make the
like
play in, yeah, with a
I can
shot
make
at
it to
the eighth
if these
seed.
two
It's
lose.
like
Like with football, in the wild card, if they
a
lose
wild card for a
and then
shot
they win over here.
for
What?
shots get bitch slapped by the Chiefs. It's like yes, it's like you get a shot to like be to play the Chiefs and lose and shit. And now you need like 5 other things to happen just to have that opportunity.
You always want to have the destiny in your hand. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like that might be the thinking, the rationing behind that. Now that you said that.
Dude might go to jail. So if he does, then I'll be the last candidate standing. When the other ones saw it was no path, they like I'm stopped with taking motherfuckers' money and shit.
I'm out.
Exactly, yeah. Because campaigns cost money, like people contribute. It's like, yeah, so I wouldn't
They
contribute.
do.
But yeah.
I know I've
Especially
gotten some
somebody I know they couldn't
petitions.
win. I'm not contributing.
I've gotten some petitions for campaigns where people like, hey, join me at my mixer over here. It's like $500 a sponsor, $1,000 a so and
No,
so.
I know politicians and people that people that have run for judge. Like we
Yeah,
know
judges like
it's like yeah,
judges.
they need money. It's like yeah, they
It
have
costs money.
campaign events. It's like yeah, we
Yeah.
doing this thing.
Well,
Yeah,
I got one recently for somebody. I got a recent one.
yeah.
It's like meet me over here. I'm trying to get here, trying to get elected.
Trying to get
And
on that ballot. Sometimes it's just trying to get on the ballot. It's like, yeah, trying to
mhm.
get on that ballot. You need like a certain amount of like signatures and like money to like get on that ballot and shit. Yeah.
You can move that. You need that green, that dough.
But I give Nikki Haley another week. Like after the next set of primaries. When is Super Tuesday? It got to be coming up. It's usually early March. I think after that, she's like, so she's out and shit. I think I
Yeah,
give her
Super Tuesday should be coming up.
usually early March, so I give her another week and a half, let's say, and then she like probably drops out. Yeah, because after she gets trounced in all of the old states, whatever. Shit. So I'm looking like she's just like who's still
It's a
doing?
hot mess.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, the silver line that I will say with both of them, with both of them running, the silver line that comes out of this is that both of them have this would be their second term for both of them, so you can't serve no more.
Yeah, whoever wins this, it like they
This is
done.
it, Michael Jackson. This is it. You
Yeah,
can't do nothing else.
they're
So
done.
that's the positive is that you only get 2 terms. And it's 2 terms, like no Trump. It's like just because he wasn't consecutive. If he does get, it's like no, it's 2 terms. Biden, if you get okay, you get a consecutive. Okay, two
Right.
terms. That's it. Not one and done, two and out. You're out after two. So that's the positive that I will say. So then they have to go back to now. You have to go and actually find new people instead of just being like,
Right.
let's just
Candidate,
run it back. Let's just run it back. No,
fresh candidates. Yeah.
we need some real new people on both sides. Like we need
Republicans tried. I give them that. The Democrats didn't even put nobody
and
up.
I credit and I say this not just Democrat, but I want to see some independents. I
Third
want to
party,
see some.
baby.
I want to see I want to see actually some new people with fresh ideas.
Third party. Yeah.
preferably not want to sound ages, preferably people between the ages of like 45 and 55, preferably.
I will sound ages. Like I said, I want to.
Preferably,
It should be age limits and term limits on
I would
politics.
say somebody between 45 and 55. I would say because I feel like in that age group, you've experienced some things in life. Like you've lived some life. You've had some life to live between 45 and 55. So you're a little more experienced, you know. That's what I would say, what I want to see. Somebody who actually has like real like what do you run under? What's your policy? What are you running under? What are you campaigning under? What is your
Yeah, it's
there's a lot of things going on that's messing us up. I mean, like, like we're finally feeling normal after the pandemic because things are pretty much normal again.
yeah,
Normal, air
like
quote
yeah, day
again.
to day, but it's like some stuff we still feeling the after effects of like
Yeah,
everything
absolutely.
everything's a lot higher than it was like before the
Yeah,
pandemic. Yeah, but like
yeah.
our day to day, we pretty much back to like our
Yeah, the day to day, that's what I mean. The day to day is pretty much you go to work, you go to school,
yeah.
even if it is like a thing, they're like, okay, you just stay home for some days.
Yes,
You stay home.
no more
And then when you
mask
come back,
mandate,
mask up.
no more mask mandates, no more
Yeah.
vax mandates. All of that stuff
Yeah.
seems to be over. Like social distancing, like you go to a grocery store, you ain't got to stand outside. It's like, well, we only letting like
We're only letting 10% of people
yeah,
in.
we only gonna be at 10% capacity as a line. Like it's like you going to the club, like going to a Walmart, like back in 2020. You have to
And then you
stand.
got to stay on those X's outside.
They got them, and like that's gonna be one of the what's they call them ancient artifacts that we look back. You still see places that have them on the ground. It's like
They
yeah,
have the X's here.
like your kid Khalil in particular, you might be able to point it out. It's like yeah, that's we were in the pandemic. They put those down. Like, yeah. Like, there's still
Or
you
the
still
other
see certain places you see still on the ground, like the
or
places.
the other one, or the one way you can only go down the aisle one way. You couldn't go like two way on the
Like,
aisle. Remember those?
most of us violated that, but they had like
I
the
did too. I mean, I wasn't gonna walk
especially
all
if
the
I
way
was
around.
near the end. It's like if I was on the opposite side, I would do it the right way. If like my item is right there, like I'm not walking all the way around. I'm going right there.
Yeah, I was like, I gotta get in and out.
I was like, yeah. And the thing I need is right there. So like I'm not walking all the way around. I'm going right there and get the shit. It's like
And I followed my step. I was masked up. I mean, I was masked up and everything.
on the
So
early days of masked up and gloved up. It was crazy.
yeah, I said I followed my rules of what I was supposed to do early on. Yeah. So
Like I wouldn't leave the house without masks and fucking surgeon's gloves. I look like Michael Jackson, literally.
but I mean, like, we need like a focus. Like, what's the like I said, like the big thing that I want to know, like about inflation. How do we attack that? Because inflation is getting out of control.
It's fine. Everything's up. Like car insurance is like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Like it costs like it's crazy. Like liability now costs like what full coverage cost like 4 years ago, pretty much. Like I don't know if you've been paying attention to like insurance rates. It's like yeah, it's like them Eagle specials are gone. Like that's a thing of the past. It's like yeah. Well, like get state basic minimum for $39. No, that's over. It's like shit. You're gonna pay like $200 for some fucking liability now. Shit. It's like
Mm.
shit.
And just like houses, they say houses have like ballooned out of control, like the cost of a house.
Yeah.
I saw
Everything.
an article that said that, and they're like, this is crazy as hell. They said that to be considered lower middle class in certain cities. So like certain, like, these very expensive, high cost of living cities. I didn't look and see which city. I think it was stuff on the East Coast, if I'm not mistaken. It was some of these East Coast cities. They said that to be considered lower middle class, you have to make $150,000. I was like, wait, what? I said a household has to be 100. I said a household has to be $150,000 to be considered lower middle class in certain cities.
Mm. Yeah, shit's fucked up. Shit definitely sucks, kid. And I don't know how we get out of it.
It's getting out of control.
I don't know how
How do
we
we get out of it?
yeah, just
And
dumb.
let's get these home rates down. Let's lower these.
Rates are rising again. Yeah, I saw they went back up. So like they'll eventually come down. Right now, they just high because I saw the like insurance rates went up a little bit. Yeah, I did see that.
Because I'm looking for these rates for these homes, like these home loan rates. That's what I'm looking at. For these mortgage rates, I'm looking at that.
Mm.
I'm like the one, the meme where they have the guy rubbing his palms together, like when they come down, the refinances come in when they come down.
That's why if you had a house during the pandemic, you were good. Like just you could have refinanced. Like interest rates went below 2% during that time.
I know,
People,
like, damn, I know, because several people I know, like, they got that 2%. I was like, damn,
I
like,
know
I
people that
missed
already
it.
had their house that refinanced during that time. Like I know a couple of people that did that shit. When they went
Because
down
I'm
to like
looking,
1.6, it's like say they refinanced during that shit.
I'm waiting for my turn. I'm like, we gonna wait for our turn, and when our number gets
Hopefully,
called,
hopefully it's not another pandemic. Hopefully it comes down to
no,
nothing. Just
yeah,
but gas prices were like under $2 during that
yeah,
time.
it was like 179 for
Everything
gas.
was cheap, like but I don't want another pandemic to
No,
get.
I don't want
It's
that.
like
No,
I do want shit to come down. Oh yeah,
yeah,
eggs seem to have normalized. They
they've
back
stabilized.
stabilized. Yeah, they stabilized. Yeah, because
Bushel
eggs.
Carter done got high. Butter has gotten high now.
Yeah,
I'm looking at butter. I'm like, why is butter like $8 for some butter? Like, what is going on? Why is butter so high?
gas prices are pretty smooth sailing right now. You paying about $3 a gallon now. That's
Yeah, gas prices are
they
decent.
stabilized. Yeah, gas is
They're
cool.
decent right now.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. But gas was like $7 at one point. It was getting out of control. It was
When
up
that
there.
Ukraine bullshit started, it's like gas price exploded during that time.
And now it's like pretty,
Yeah.
like I'm back to my normal fill up. So like when I fill up, I'm like, okay, I'm back to like what it used to be when I would fill up instead of being like, okay, it's like double like to fill up a car now, you know, back then.
Some stuff, like I said, we pretty much back to normal life, but then other things like like produce was stupid at one point. Like I paid $5 for a head of lettuce at one point. For one head of fucking lettuce. So I remember when lettuce, I saw the old man.
99 cents.
I'm back in my day. I remember when lettuce was 99 cents a head.
Well,
Like,
that's what's 99 cent at Aldi. You can get it
not
at
that
Aldi,
long
right?
ago, like within 5 years ago, like not even that long ago.
99 cent at Aldi. Yep. Sure could.
Not back in the 1980s. It's like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Lettuce was like 99 cents. Yeah, shit was stupid for me. I was like, 4.99. When it's like, do I get more five? Does that come with 4 extra heads of lettuce and shit? Just
That's why you saw an influx of people starting to do gardening. You start to see people start gardening because I
it was
know a couple
funny.
people who,
Funny. Me and Babe were just she's talking about starting a garden. She got a giant ass yard and shit. Yeah, so she's talking about yeah, we're just talking
I
about
was thinking about putting something like, because like in my backyard I could put like one of those boxes, like those,
yeah,
like
the,
a
the
box. I
planter,
could put a
planter
box.
box, planter
I could
box.
put a planter box in my backyard because I was looking like we could put like
And you
some
can
butter leaf
include
lettuce,
include the kids in that. Yeah, that'd be fun. Like I think
some little stuff. Yeah.
Ari would definitely I think
Oh,
would
Ari would love it. Ari would love it.
include them, have them help out.
And then when I was in Sam's Club the other day, I'm like, I guess it must have been talking to me because I saw like already bulk plants that you could plant. Like they had a strawberry plant, they had a blueberry. I was like, ooh, I was looking like, ooh.
I was looking at seeds in the produce section. I saw they got the seeds. I was like, oh, okay, like they because this is the time when people start getting ready to
Yeah,
plant.
you start getting your stuff together
The
right before spring
weather's
hits,
about
like
to
right
break. Yeah, so
before.
this is around the time. And when we were kids, like like mom and dad had a vegetable garden in the back.
Yeah, I remember the vegetable garden because mom had tomatoes and
Tomatoes
greens.
and bell peppers, all of that shit. Like they had like tomatoes, greens, green peppers. I remember like them having
Mhm.
the back when we were back in the day. It's like
I'm thinking about I might give me a planter, but I might give me something, set up my little garden up so then we can make our little fresh salads and do stuff. The strawberries I would kill. Like, so I love me some strawberries. Like I'd be on that. It's like that's gotta be just for me.
look into that sea of strawberry if you can grow strawberries in Chicago. Yeah, I know
You can, because I've seen people grow them. You can.
okay, yeah. I know some shit is only grows in certain parts. So yeah, strawberries
Yeah, citrus, you can't grow like citrus fruits like no.
like Florida or California, like yeah.
Yeah.
Or like peaches is like Georgia. You got like the
Georgia,
Georgia
yeah.
peaches like that. So, yeah.
Hmm.
Some places like you
I might
can't.
look into it. I might look into doing my little strawberries
Might
and
be
then
a
some
project.
chocolate
Yeah, like I
cream.
say you can include the kids in them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, they you like Juanita from Baby Boy and shit. Yeah. Without Melvin.
Without Melvin, yeah, without Melvin.
I mean, every time I'm out in the garden, you leave. It's like, because every time Melvin came to help Jody would go back in the house.
They were petty.
Every time I come to help you, go back in the house.
They was childish. They were childish. Oh my goodness.
Why they called it Baby Boy. So it's in the title. It's in the title.
Oh
But
my goodness.
we didn't mention it last week, but Trump, the Air Magas, as we talk about Trump sneakers.
Nobody
That's
wearing
what they call it. That's what I'm calling them, the Air Magas.
you ain't wearing that shit.
Air Magas, baby.
No. I saw the picture. I was like,
They
no,
do like a Jordan one too. Like you can tell that's like the silhouette that they inspired. It looks like a Jordan one. That
no.
was the
That was a
silhouette that
pass.
inspired it.
That's a hard pass. That's a hard pass.
Wouldn't rock your Air Magas and shit. I want to see somebody on the red carpet wear them and then get canceled.
Ew.
No, they will be canceled immediately. It's like, only way that could get away with it is like in he doesn't care is Kanye. It's like because Kanye is trying to get canceled. It's like so and he wouldn't wear them anyway because he got his own like his Yeezy brand. It's like like I want to see somebody like wear them like on a red carpet and get canceled. It's like that shit would happen. So
Oh my gosh.
got these Air Magas on.
Oh my goodness. But and news of like what's been going on. So it's just been a crazy ass week, like the way that stuff has just unfolded. So like if you guys have lived under a rock or you haven't like been paying attention, like it was the whole 50-part TikTok series where the girl Risa Tisa basically did a whole thing called Who the Fuck Did I Marry? And she did it was 50 parts. It was a whole thing. I had time because like I had some time, so then I just let it
Definitely
play. I put
feel
it
me
on the
in because I didn't
background.
watch any of that shit. So you feel me in.
I watched it. So I'm gonna do it as short as I can because like it is like about eight, nine.
Yeah,
I
we
was
got time.
like,
We got time. Take your time.
because it was like 10, it was like each one was like nine, like between 7 and 10 minutes each one, and it was 50. So multiply it out.
Oh yeah, we ain't got that much time, but we got time
And
though.
she did a couple of clarification videos where she did like checkpoints, like, okay, so this is like to recap. Like she did a couple of recaps to like try to fill people in. So preface this was she met this guy during right before the pandemic started. She met him on a website on a dating app. She matched with him twice on two different
Swipe,
dating apps on Facebook
swipe,
dating,
swiped right on that ass.
and Hinge. I think those were the two ones that she met him on, whatever. And then she matched with him. She goes out on a first date with him to Cheesecake Factory. But haha, that's the thing now. The whole after, because she was like, yeah, the whole thing that happened with Cheesecake Factory. But this was 2020 when this happened. So she went out with him. They had a good date. He laid it on thick, saying, like, yeah, you're going to be my wife and that type of stuff. So then she's like, oh, really? And then right after they started, dating or being on the phone and doing that, the pandemic happened. Lockdown. We know what was going on March 13th, 2020. We all know what everything officially
That's the
locked
day.
down.
That's the day the NBA canceled, and then it was a wrap after that. Yeah.
It was a wrap. We know what happened. The way everything just locked down, the world stopped spinning, it felt like. So then she said that because she felt just so connected with him, she's like, how's this going to work? Because like they're like, okay, your governor tells you, okay, you need to shelter in place. Because that was your governor telling you. And then she's like, how they going to do it? And then he was like, well, I have a small apartment, but because she had a 3-bedroom, 2-bath townhouse. So then he was like, I mean, I could shelter there with you because my apartment is so small.
I had a smaller apartment back then. I sheltered in place alone.
Because she didn't want to not shelter in place. So she wanted to shelter in place with him because like they were just so, she felt like she found the man of her dream. She felt like she found the one.
I
And she
get
did not want to not be without
I
him.
get we had a family member that sheltered in place that found his soulmate. So yeah, it happens. It's like
So then they sheltered in place, but they had only known each other, Leslie, they only know each other for about a week and a half, maybe, or 2 weeks or whatever. So they didn't know each other. And they started sheltering, and then at some point she gets pregnant. Um, they get engaged because, they both are like, well, we don't, they both are into church and they're like, we don't want to, we're already living together and, it's wrong. And, we're going to have a baby. So then they get engaged. Whirlwind. She loses the baby. She has a miscarriage, very sad. Um, and then she just starts noticing like different things about him, like stuff that he was telling her just wasn't aligning. So he was saying that he worked for this condiment company down there. And then he said that he got a promotion, that he was a VP of something. He had a big important position, but then he wore like a uniform, like how you would wear to like Amazon. Cause he said had like it was like the polo shirt with like the logo on it, and he wore like VPs wouldn't wear that, like she said he never wore a suit and tie to work.
he was just a
So,
liar. That's all that was.
but that's what it was about. It was like he was like that's like the who the fuck that, it was like she was like he's a pathological liar. So then he was telling her all this stuff about like this and that, just telling her all these different things, and then just the stories just weren't lining up. And then basically they got married. Oh, he kept on, I'm sorry, he kept on telling her that they were going to get a house because they're like, we're going to have this baby, and then, let's buy a house. And then he claimed that he was pre-approved for $750,000. He showed her a chase letter that he had.
Determined that was a lie. Like Maury.
And then he said that
He
he
got approved
had,
for $750 and shit.
he
Buy a
said that he
buy
had money.
he buy a fucking doll house and shit. Yeah,
You
buy a
can't even buy a
fucking
Lego set.
buy
Lego.
a Barbie's dream house and shit. Yeah, that's what he was approved for and shit. Yeah.
But then he was saying that he was gonna buy her this house, and then he said that he had like all these different accounts, and he was showing her that he had money in these accounts, and then he said that he had an offshore account.
He might have that. He's a thief. He might have stole some money and shit. Might have
The
robbed
funniest
somebody.
thing I saw in the comment section, I wish I would have got the person's name because I want to credit them properly. But somebody, when I was watching those TikToks, and somebody wrote, coins in a glass bar at the beach equals his offshore account.
Yeah, he got
I
buried.
started dying
He got
laughing.
buried treasure and shit on the beach.
Coins in a glass bottle.
Got a Crown
People,
Royal bag buried on the beach. That's his fucking offshore account.
but they put that. I just put the skulls. I just put the skulls under their comment because I was like, that was just too funny. Because he did. This man was actually saying he had offshore account and he was like had so much money. He said that he had enough money to buy because like later after they weren't getting the house, and then he said we can just buy a house outright because like he was trying to say that he had $700,000 cash that he could buy a house with.
Shithead.
Her.
Yeah, he got his 750. Buy his his Malibu Barbie dream house and shit.
He said he had $700,000 cash. And then he said that he got a company. He just was just telling so many lies. He said that he got a company car. He claimed that he was going to buy her a BMW X5 with the cognac interior, whatever. He just
Like he was Hot Wheels and shit. Whatever you a BMW X5. He's like, right here you go. He didn't say what he actually did. He bought Hot Wheels. Let's go.
no, but this man claimed that he was going to buy her an Audi. That's what he said. That ultimately, he said he was going to buy her an Audi truck.
She misheard. He said he was Audi and shit. That's a I'm Audi 5,000. That's what he really. She
He
misheard.
said he was going to buy.
He
He
was
said he was
Audi
going to
and
buy.
say he was leaving. I'm Audi.
He told this lady he was buying her an Audi truck, but then he ended up buying her a Nissan Altima. That's not. I mean, nothing against Nissan Altima, but if you were expecting an Audi truck, and then somebody shows with a Nissan Altima, it's like,
Yeah, it's a big letdown.
sir, where's my truck at?
That's probably
But
was his
then,
explanation. I said I was Audi to go get this Nissan.
but after selling so many lies, he like went back and forth. So then she ended up still marrying him. She married him in January of the next year, January
May I
2001.
ask why?
I still don't know after all the lies because when she would catch him in a lie, because every time like she would get to the thing, something would come up where he's like, oh, okay, like I want to see where you work at. Okay. He would like, yeah, and then okay, I'm gonna do this. And then something would come up. I want to do this, and then something would come up. I want to drive the car, your company car, because he said that he was able to get like a Mercedes Benz as his company car, a $90,000 Mercedes as his company car. And then something came up why he couldn't take the car home from work.
But his license got suspended, I guess, like something like that.
I don't know. He just kept on coming up with like different things. But then she ended up marrying him. And then after she married him, then it really went from sugar to shit. Then like everything just started, all the skeletons, all his secrets just started coming out. She found out that, like different stuff, like his family that he said that he had, he lied and said that he had family that he didn't have. Like his job that he said that he had, it wasn't a job that he had. He didn't have any money. Like he just everything was a lie, pretty much. Well, not every, well, like 20% of like the stuff that he told him was like
You're
true.
right.
Maybe
Everything's a
50,
lie.
15 to 20% was true. And everything else was a lie. The bottom line. Then she had to try to get out of her marriage. So then she was able to like get divorced. So like she got married and divorced in like less than 6 months. She was like married and divorced. And she was able to get away from him. And she
Yeah.
said that she basically was telling her story as a cautionary tale, basically. But the people who laughed at her, she laughed all the way to the bank because allegedly they said that after her story went, because it went super viral, and they broke down how much they said this is allegedly how much she allegedly got paid from TikTok for doing that, because they say you get paid so much for your content or whatever. And she ended up allegedly being paid over $80,000. That's what they said, what it came down to. So if she did, honestly, if she did get that $80,000, it's like this is you laughing all the way to the bank. People laughed at your story, called you a dumbass or whatever. Now you turn lemons into lemonade. You did.
Much
But
like
my thing is,
what?
but my thing is why people always laugh at me with my stuff, because that's why I be on I watch a lot of Investigation Discovery. I watch a lot because I love the show Who the Bleep Did I Marry Anyway. I love that show. And I watch a lot of those type of shows or whatever. But if a guy hasn't proposed to you after your first date, then he's the loser. No, he's wasting your time. If a guy doesn't want to marry you after dating you for a week, he's wasting your time. You don't know anybody after dating for a week. Like you can't say you're going to marry somebody. That usually doesn't happen. I'm not saying love at first sight doesn't
So
happen.
show that, yeah, to babe, like she's into a show called Married at First Sight. And basically there's like it's kind of like that 90 Day Fiance, but they start with a marriage. It's like y'all don't meet each other until your wedding day. They get married, and then you learn, you know who each other is like after you're married. Like that, like that's when then they give you 60 days. At the end of the 60 days, like, do we stay married or do we get divorced? Like that's basically the show. It's like, so y'all don't even meet until the wedding day, like at the altar is when y'all first see each other for the first time.
I'm not saying that can't happen, because like it is very rare that love at first sight can happen. It's extremely rare though. But under normal circumstances, you got to get to know people, because I say minimum 2 years before you actually marry somebody. Minimum. You have to date minimum. Because the first year, you're just really figuring out who this person is. And then once you know the real them after a year, now they can let their hair down. Okay, like, yeah, I said I liked watching, I don't know, I said I like watching Power Force. I don't like Power. I don't like Power. Like the person may have like said, sorry, you were a huge Power fan, and then was like, oh, okay, I like Power too. But then after like dating you for years, like, okay, I'm not really into Power. I really,
That's a deal breaker. You're dumb. You don't like powerful.
that's a show you can watch yourself. So then that's the thing that you guys can be like, okay, I'll watch it myself, and then that's something that I'll do different. If you
I don't like wrestling.
or if you like was like, yeah, like you went to like sporting events, but like with your guy, you're like, yeah, I love sports. And then after like a year in, you're like,
And
okay,
I don't like basketball at all.
I'm not really into sports like that. So like
I was just doing that just to make you feel good.
if you get an extra ticket to the game, like you can take, you and your friend can go. You can go with like your boy. You guys, like I don't. Like you don't have to invite me to the game. I get nothing out of it.
Mhm.
That's when you find out in that year too, like when you can really you can be honest, you can let your hair down, you can really, but in that first year, you're just really trying to impress. That's what you're trying to do. You're super trying to put on a good front. You're trying to make a good impression. You're trying to, hey, you're trying to do all that in your first
That's why
year.
you gotta appreciate motherfuckers out of themselves in the beginning. It's like
Mm-hmm.
rare, but it does happen when people tell you right up. It's like, hey, I don't like that. It's not my thing. It's like you got to give people props to that. Don't
Mm-hmm.
just say like, sure, like yeah, just to make you feel good. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't like that. Just like, yeah,
And that's the story that I would say that's why I hope that if anything, because like in the comment section, like, and then she called me like his code name that she gave him was Legion. That's the name that she gave him, Legion. And apparently, a lot of women have dated legions. A lot of women have like their own legion. Like, yeah, I had a legion once, and then you see like other women sharing their legion stories
Legion of
about
Doom. Let's call it that. That's the
about what
Doom,
happened
baby.
with them.
What a rush.
But that's just a tale that get to know somebody first, because usually with these, like I said, especially on that Who the Bleep Got Married show, usually it's like, yeah, we met, and then 2 days later we got married, and now I find they're a psychopath. And it's like that. It's like, okay, like you married them like after like a day. You're surprised they're a psychopath. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I would say. But
Mentioned turning lemons into lemonade, like Beyonce. Well, let's talk about Beyonce. Yeah, she's dominating the country charts right now.
with
It's
Texas
Texas.
Hold'em,
It's Texas Hold'em record, yeah, which is one of my favorite card game. By the way, it's like as soon as I saw the title, I was interested. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. It's like
I don't poker that well. I mean, I knew that was a poker reference. I knew that's a poker game, but
very
I'm not
popular
good at
poker game
poker.
in Texas. So it's a
I'm not
stud.
very
It's
good.
a stud card. It's a stud game. So yeah, it's like So well, you don't even know what that is. Like we're
I'm
like
not very good at poker
yeah,
at all. I'm
love Texas Hold'em. Yeah, I'll be killing it. Yeah.
but I think it's like, why are people acting shocked? It's like she's from Houston. She's a country girl. Beyonce is from Houston, Texas. She's a country
Yeah.
girl.
It's only a
She
matter
is.
of time before she put out a country album. Yeah.
And she got the seal of approval. I saw recently a post. She it came from the Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton gave her, gave her seal of approval. And we know Dolly is, she's a country legend.
Country royalty right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and Dolly was like, I love it. Dolly was like, she's like, I can't wait to hear the whole album. Like Dolly gave her seal of approval for Beyonce. But
Have you heard the record? If what do you think about
I've
it?
heard part of it. Like I heard like it come on like when I was in the car, but then I
Yeah,
had to get out the
I play
car.
that shit all the time on Rockford. This one.
I gotta listen to the whole. I haven't heard the whole song. I said because when I was driving, then I had to maybe it came on right before I had to like you have to
Obviously,
get
I'm
the kid.
not playing it here because I don't want our shit to get taken
Yeah,
down.
we don't want to
It's
disrupt.
like, we'll say I have it right here, but I'm not gonna play it here. It's like,
When I heard it, I was just kind of like, it makes you like go like, okay, because the country beats like, how it has like
yeah.
like country beats kind of make your head go like, like that kind of, So I was like, okay, like it
It's
was
catchy.
different than like,
If to
what,
me personally, like I could see like if you were like a hardcore country fan, if you wouldn't like it because it's more like crossover country. It's like yeah,
yeah,
I could see that. It's like if you're a rap fan, it's like if you like a hip hop head, it's like certain like you might not like
like,
Drake. If it was
like pop, yeah, pop.
this is
It's
like
like
the
pop
Drake of like country
country.
music. Like yeah, not a bad song, but if you're that's what people that's why if you don't really follow country music, you probably need to shut the fuck up about all of this. It's like, cause like us, we like to like everything is about racism and everything. But I'm like, if you listen to the song, I can see like if you're a hardcore country fan, you're not liking it because it's like it's pop country. It's like
It's like
yeah,
a pop country, yeah.
like it's like if like I said, a hip hop head not liking Drake. That's what I compare it to.
Like for example, and like I said, we can reference our father, rest in peace. Dad did not like Kenny G because he said that wasn't real jazz.
Yeah, like
Remember,
a
Dad
lot of
always said that that's not real
dad,
jazz.
dad didn't listen to WNUA 95.
Yeah, 9.5.
That was said that's not real jazz.
He
It's
said that's
like,
not jazz.
like real jazz is like the stuff he listened
Old
to.
Train, Miles
Miles
Davis,
Davis, yeah, like
Charlie Parker,
yeah, Bird, yeah, he like that's the stuff he was
that
in.
type of
Like
stuff.
yeah, Is like
The stuff that Bill Cosby listened to on the
Ron
Cosby Show.
Carter is like I'm digging deep now. Yeah. It's
Like
like
all the stuff that Bill Cosby listened to on the Cosby Show, that was what our dad listened to.
Art
That type of
Blakey is like his dad was into that stuff. Eric Dolphy, that's the stuff he was into and shit.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that authentic jazz, but he didn't listen to WNUA. Like he's like
No,
that's like that was corny to him. Like
the
some
music
people like that
stuff.
was their favorite station, a lot of jazz. So yeah, because like somebody the other day mentioned like whatever happened to WNUA. It was like
Mm-hmm.
like I like they had the jazz. I was like, yeah, they had the jazz, but like my dad he didn't like the station. I didn't tell
That
him.
would
I
roast.
was thinking. I was like, yeah, he didn't really like that station.
That would roast Kenny G. He's like, he's not jazz. He's like, he's a Coltrane's a saxophonist. Coltrane is
They
jazz.
played a lot of Kenny G on WNUA too.
And that, Coltrane was Dad's guy. Coltrane was his guy. He was like, he's like, that ain't jazz. Coltrane is jazz. I'm like, okay. But I mean, I get it though. I said it depends on what your genre. If you really are like a heavy
Freddie Hubbard, like I'm just thinking of like I'm thinking about acts that Dad took me and Feast to see at the Jazz Showcase back
at
in
the
the
jazz showcase here in Chicago, yeah.
which we probably shouldn't have been in there. It was like the '90s, so they didn't give a shit. It's like, but we were with him, so like maybe you could like bring like teenagers in there if they were with a parent. I don't remember. I know we were in the Jazz and they were serving liquor in there, and like that's all I remember. It's like,
I don't know.
they asked like like most of these clubs like they had a 2-drink minimum like me and
Mhm.
Feast always get like ginger ale or some shit like that. It's like but they were serving alcohol there, so we probably shouldn't have been there. It's like but maybe it was different then. Maybe we could have been. It's like if you were a parent, but like or maybe they just didn't care. They saw
A little column B.
yeah. Yeah, we used to cause so Freddie Hubbard, Roy Hargrove, like these acts I saw at the Jazz Showcase back in the '90s.
Mhm. But I get it though. I get the whole, you know, I get that with people because that was a complaint I saw that people, and I could tell like not judging books by their cover, but when you look at certain people's profile picture, I'm like, yeah, they're definitely a country a country listener. You look at their profile picture, it's like, yeah,
And I see a lot of
yeah,
our people mad about the country community rejecting. I was like, if you're not a country fan, you probably should sit this one out.
yeah. This isn't your fight.
Especially like you Beehive, you really shut the fuck up. You just defend it because it's Beyonce. It's like a lot of it is that too. It's like yeah, it's like this
How
Beehive stuff.
dare you give Beyonce criticism? She doesn't need criticism. She's
Like,
Beyonce.
I'm not the biggest country guy. I know a little bit because being a music guy, I know some like and I'm like I could see like a country head not liking it. I compare it to the Drake comparison. Like if you're a hip hop head and like in Wu-Tang 36 Chambers is your favorite album, like you saying like Drake is whack and shit. Like I can see that.
Or try Midnight Marauders is your favorite hour.
This came out the same day, by the way. Midnight Marauders. I was trying to give the Wu-Tang fans their props because I'll be biased towards Midnight Marauders, but like me, like that's the to me like that album because like that date just passed. It was like yeah, it's late '93 that just passed. Everybody's talking about yeah, like 30 years ago, 36 years. I was like, yeah, 30 years ago, Midnight Marauders. Like this is the album that I went to, that I went to the Plaza at Sam Goody and got
Got it. But I get it though. I get why people, feel like they have their opinions of it. I can see
not racism. It's like if you're a
the
country fan,
standpoint.
it's like yeah, I don't really like it. None
So
against
instantly I just thought about Dad and his jazz.
yeah, like Jad didn't. It wasn't because Kenny G was white, because it was like white jazz artists that he liked. Kenny G was just
Right.
corny to jazz. That's all. It wasn't because it wasn't his white. He's just he's just corny. That's all. That's why he's like, I don't like it. He didn't listen to WNUA.
Yeah, Dad didn't like WNBA. He like that's corny.
Because
He would
like
get his record, put his record on, play his records in the house.
yep, kind of blue Miles Davis. That's what
Mm-hmm.
that's what he put me on. Well, put me onto Miles, the kind of blue album, which I still stream to this day.
I like So What. I recently heard that in something I was watching the other day, and I was like, "Oh, they're playing So What." Oh, I know what it was. I think I was watching. We were watching Hidden Figures. Ariana, I think it was in Hidden Figures, and I was like, "Oh, that's So What." Ari was like, "Well," I was like, "Never mind."
So Uncle Mouse used to play that when I was
The
in the
song
jazz.
playing.
Tell Uncle Mouse
Oh,
used to play that. That was one of our go-tos. Like when we had our jazz quintet. Yeah,
Mhm.
like So What was one of my go-tos.
Mhm. So I mean, I know, like I said, we know a little bit about different genres of music. I have a little knowledge of, like I said, my jazz knowledge is because of Dad strictly. That's why I know jazz is strictly because of him.
And I pursued
Yeah.
jazz as a musician in my late teens. Like I pursued a career in jazz.
And
Yes.
jazz, yeah.
I
So
really dove in during that time. It's like, yeah, but like my introduction was because of Dad. And then like when
yeah,
I
the knowledge is definitely there. People
was
like, what you know about? Like, cool. I saw the what you know about that? Like my father. Like, damn, can I know something? Can I have some knowledge about it?
right.
But I mean, like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna listen to Beyonce's whole song. I'm gonna listen to it. Like I said, 'cause it happened to be coming out. I had to get out the car. Like I mean, I was listening, and then I'm like, damn, I gotta get out the car.
It's not a
Yeah.
bad record, but like I said, but I could see like if you're a diehard country fan, I could see why you wouldn't like it. That's like but the answer I would give about the record. Yeah. Like I could see
And
like cause
Beyonce has it.
yeah,
She's hitting hard with it. So she has her album, and then she released her hair care line
yeah.
too.
And the
Secret,
song the
yeah.
Texas Hold'em is #1 in the country charts, by the way. So it's like people like even if like the diehards don't like it, people are fucking with the record. It's
Yeah.
#1 in the
So
country charts
so
right
Beyonce is she had another thing to her repertoire. Like I said, now she's doing country and now she got her hair care line.
Yeah.
She just released that, and I saw her release party for that. Some of the notable celebs over there, I saw Gabrielle Union, Taraji Henson, and Tia Mowry. They were all there, which I think is a great moment because all three of those ladies also have their hair care. They also have their own hair care line too. So I like that it showed that we don't have to be like it's room for all of us. Like we still are supporting, we're here supporting. It's not like, well, buy my line. It's like, it's like it's room for it's a big table. It's
I
room
do that.
for
I support other people's podcasts. So yeah, like it's enough out for all of us. It's like
it's room for
I support it.
everybody.
I still
It
support
is. So that was a nice thing to see that those three ladies in particular, I said that they all have their own brand. So I'm like, oh, that's
surprised
what's up.
Lala wasn't there. She seemed to be everywhere.
I maybe just maybe something, but like so like she could have been there. Because she
See,
seems to be like just
you see Lala everywhere. That's what I meant. Maybe she's getting a lot of acting gigs, so she could have been on set somewhere. I don't know. It's like people say Lala can't act, but she's always working, so it's something.
getting booked.
She's always working.
She's getting booked.
EMF comes back on the first. Yeah, she's very prominently featured on that. So
And that's one thing. I mean, you can complain, you could talk about certain people's abilities or whatever, and you can complain, but if people are steadily getting hired,
he said that on Breakfast Club is like because Charlemagne and he gonna definitely make it like what's good about people that say
he's
you can't
getting,
act. It's like he's
he's
like well Pete, he's
getting.
like I keep getting hired so like yeah I don't know what to say so they keep hiring me.
Because even if you are like a top tier actor, no one it's nothing is like even like look at some of like your favorite movies. What is 100% on Rotten Tomatoes? It's nothing 100%. You get what I'm saying? Nothing is 100%.
Facts.
You could possibly start at 100, but then it's going to come down.
Yeah, because like
Your first
most
your
people
first few
after the hype
reviews.
dies out, like it comes down to reality. Like remember when the Dark Knight first dropped, it had like they ratings were inflated during that time.
Yeah.
It was like I think on IMDb it was like in the top 5 movies of all time. It's like because like for a number of reasons the movie was good and like the
What's a
Heath
good movie?
Ledger
And Heath
thing
Ledger
with his
performance.
death
Yeah.
like and
Yeah.
just his portrayal as the Joker was just so like amazing. It's like it's like
He
it
was a
was like
great Joker.
all of that combined like inflated the ratings, but now it's come back to normal. It still has a good rating, but it's not like it's not up there with like greatest movies of all time, like with the Wizard of Oz.
Citizen Kane.
It's up there with that. It's like really the Dark Knight is like it was like the ratings was like
Ben
inflated
Hur, like stuff like that. Those
like
movies of old
way
ass
high
movies.
as like The Godfather and shit like that. It was like rated way the fuck up there with like those movies. It's like the Dark Knight was like the rating was inflated because of the Heath Ledger thing, and people just liked the movie, which I'm
Yeah.
happy some as a Batman guy. So like I wasn't complaining about Dark Knight being inflated during that time. Like,
And
yeah,
nothing is going to
hope
be
it
a
goes to
hundred
#1.
percent.
That's what I was like, yeah.
Nothing is 100%. That's the bottom line. Nothing is 100%. So even great actors, like people may be like, I'm sure some people who hated Denzel's portrayal in Training Day. I'm sure some people didn't like his.
A lot of people they say a lot of it was Hotepery. It's like yeah,
I
right.
thought Training Day was an excellent movie. I thought it was well written, well directed, well
And
acted.
Denzel like in particular, yeah, it's a great
I
movie
thought
overall.
Ethan
Denzel,
Hawke held his own too. He
yeah,
held his own. He held his own against Denzel. Being opposite, that's hard to hold your opposite. He was on film. He was on camera a lot with Denzel. They
yeah.
shared a lot of scenes together. So him having
Most
to
of the movie was the two of them. It's like yeah.
play off of him having to play off of Denzel, that's hard. That's very hard to do. Very hard.
I've heard Ethan Hawke talk about that, how he was intimidated going into that role. Like he,
Yeah.
Washington, yeah, I heard him talk about that before. Yeah.
But he held it. He did it. He held it. He did.
Mm.
But Training Day, I think that Training Day is a, like I said, like nothing is I think it's a near perfect movie. I think Training Day is a near
Pretty
perfect
close to
movie.
a perfect movie, else. It's pretty close.
I think Boys in the Hood is a near perfect movie. Like, it's certain movies I feel are near perfect movies.
Yeah, I love both of those.
Where it's like the storyline, you can follow the storyline from start to finish. It had the right rise and then it had the right
One,
fall. Like, it did
one,
that.
one of your favorites I throw in there, like Back to the Future. Like, yeah,
Back to the Future is a that's a near perfect movie, definitely. I just rewatched the movies that made us the other day. I just rewatched that docu series on
one
Netflix.
another favorite of mine. I'll throw Die Hard in that conversation.
Yeah, it's a near perfect movie. That's on there too. All those great movies are on there on the movies that made us.
Yeah,
It's certain movies that are a near perfect movie. When you watch it from start to finish, it has
yeah.
the natural where you're like, oh, it has like the right amount of twists and turns. I think whatchamacallit is a pretty like I said, it's a little under near perfect, but it's pretty close to being like it's a very, very good movie. I say Get Out is a very, very good movie.
I
It's
like
very, very good. Get Out is very, very good,
um,
especially for being the directorial debut of Jordan Peele. Very, very good
um,
movie.
Ocean's 11. I'd put in that category.
Yeah,
Very,
very, very good movie.
very.
Very, very, very good movie. Yeah. But
Might as
it's
well
like
call it
that.
White Jack. Like Bernie Mac stole the show.
But it's like, yeah, the certain movies that go like that. But unfortunately, I don't know if you
What you got?
did you watch that new Netflix movie with Kelly Rowland? Did you watch that
I haven't
yet?
watched it. What's going on? So from Beyonce to Kelly, what we talking?
For Beyonce and Kelly, there we go. So it's a Tyler Perry movie.
Oh my God, I'm already interested
I'm
here.
gonna leave with that. It's
I'm
called Mea
already,
Culpa.
I'm
You know, the
already.
phrase that basically means my bad in Latin, basically. But it was like used as a double entendre because her name was Mia in the movie, and then she was a defense attorney. So it was like the double entendre with why that movie was named like that.
Like Jason's lyric.
Yeah. So watching it, because it just came out Friday. So
Poetic
I mean,
Justice is another one. Yeah, it's about poetry, and her name was Justice, and she did
yeah.
poetry. It's like double entendre type.
So it's kind of like I said, I won't spoil it per se because it's only been out since Friday. But the thing that I will say is that it had lots of potential. It was set in Chicago, so Chi-Town was set in Chicago, so I did like that.
That goes, by the way, Blues Brothers, another one in the very great movie,
Very
Chicago.
good. Yeah.
I thought about that too since you mentioned. Go ahead.
But when you watch it, it's like it was shot nice. Like, I mean, it looked good, it was shot nice and it wasn't the continuity errors that were in A Fall from Grace, because that was one that we watched on Netflix that we called an after school special that was awful because the continuity was like it wasn't that. Kelly looked beautiful, and then the guy who played opposite of her, I can't think of Trevante, I think is his name.
All
Like
right.
he was good. He was
Depending
good
on, okay,
looking too.
was he our good guy or our bad guy? Because we'll say if he's the bad guy, he's an evil dark skinned character. If he's the good
He
guy,
was dark skinned, but he wasn't a bad guy, but he wasn't a good guy. I'll say that. He wasn't good. He wasn't a goody goody, but he wasn't a bad guy.
well,
I'll say
the
like that.
dark skinned Tyler Perry villain. That's
So that's what was shocking to me. I was like, the dark skinned guy.
Richard T. Jones, like the evil dark
Well,
skin.
this is a little bit of a spoiler. The dark skinned guy wasn't the bad guy. I'll just say it like that. So that was a
Well,
spoiler.
Tyler Perry did switch it up a little bit. Okay, yeah.
The dark skinned guy wasn't bad. I mean, like I said, he wasn't a goody either, but I mean, he had his flaws and he had his faults, but he wasn't just outright like Steve Harris was just outright evil in that first movie. Richard T. Jones was evil. He was cartoon evil. But some of the stuff, like I said, like true to Tyler Perry, he does a lot of the kind of cartoony evil where like in real life, if somebody says something out of pocket to you and just says something, you either going to get cussed out or you're going to get slapped, you're going to get popped in the mouth. And this was said in Chicago, so I mean, like we move a little different in Chicago. I'm just saying.
The Kelly called somebody a goofy ass, and that's it.
She didn't call anyone a goofy ass. She didn't. That was like the thing that wasn't authentic. They should have had goofy ass at least a couple of times because in Chicago we call people goofy ass.
Goofy ass out of here.
I saw no gym shoes. Wait, I didn't hear him say gym shoes. So they should have had gym shoes. They should have said that.
Nobody eat mild sauce in the movie.
I should went to Heroes. They got some mild sauce.
Was any mild sauce in the movie? That's all.
They should stop at Italian Fiesta to get some pieces. Okay, I'm doing too much.
Thin crust cutting squares. God damn it.
I'm doing too much now. But watching the movie, so like I said, it did have like where they had a burn where like they were leading, it felt like they were going. It was like it was climbing, and then like the last 12 minutes was just so rushed. Like the last 12 minutes of the movie was just super. It felt like they crammed 50 minutes into 12 minutes. So it was very rushed, very
like they ran out of budget and said, let's just get this shit over with.
Let's just get it to get. And that's what I felt. That's like my biggest complaint is that the last 12 minutes was so rushed. It was like 50 was crammed into 12, and then it just went just really off the rails. It just really
You see what happened with movies. Like one movie to me that at the end was rushed to me was Mo Better Blues. It's like after Bleak gets injured, everything after that scene.
Everything just ran so fast. It's like
everything seems rushed after his injury when Sam Jackson busts his lips up.
So, okay, now it's a year later and he's like back trying to play Trump. It's like, wait, what happened? Like, wait, what? He comes
back crying to Indigo. It's like all of that was rushed. The whole end of that movie was rushed.
And then they get married while she's like 9 months pregnant, and I'm like, okay, this is going to
the son. It's like then the son's learning how to play. It's like and then the son's homies want to come out. He lets him go out because he couldn't go out and play when he was a kid. Out. So he lets him go out and play.
Like the last like 15 minutes of that movie was like
Mo Better Blues.
Like an hour was like crammed in like 15 minutes. Like that could have been like a whole another hour.
Yeah.
That story, that development of the story could have been another hour of screen time.
So they run out of money or they run out of time. It's like, let's just get to it might be an issue with Tyler Perry, but like, he probably just is over it. He said, I'm done with it. Like Spike might have ran out of money at the end of Mo Better. It's like, but Tyler just said, I'm over this shit. He just might have been over.
I was watching, I'm like, because the building, I was like they were building, okay, like they're building, and then it's just like, whoop, okay, movie's over. I'm like, that was really rushed, but it could have been better. It could have been better. It wasn't the worst movie. God, I know some people say, oh, it was the people like they, saying that it was just absolutely horrible. It was watchable up to a thing, but would I want to watch it again? Probably not. Not right now. I probably wouldn't want to watch it.
Like Coming to America on Amazon. I won't say I hated the movie, but do I ever have to see it again? Probably not.
Like it definitely, but some people loved it. Some people thought, "Oh, this was so good." I'm like, I go, It wasn't so good, but it wasn't the worst either. But
we know somebody who probably would have thought it was really good. Somebody we know personally.
But just watching it, I was like, "Oh, okay." Like so. So if you guys do, I mean, hey, we need a Netflix sponsor at this point. Like we probably have to. We need some Netflix sponsoring. Because I watch a lot of stuff on Netflix. I mean, I am my Netflix mood. And I'm like, okay.
Coming in 2025, Monday Night Raw is coming to Netflix, so I'll be watching a shitload on Netflix. Once WWE Raw like debuts there, like
They put the Nature Boy documentary on Netflix. Ric Flair, they have that on Netflix now.
Okay.
They recently had that. His 30 for 30. They recently had that.
I That's a great episode too.
That's how I was like, oh, I was like, this is a Ric Flair doc. I was like, okay, let me focus. Let me
Meet your
focus.
boy.
Let me focus. Let me focus. Let me focus.
Before we wrap, I'm gonna play this right here. I got some PTSD watching this fucking thing.
Oh God.
And this may or may not be staged, but it doesn't matter. If it was staged, it's like they had me hooked. It's like, yeah, it's on X, like formerly known as Twitter, like this video. I'm about to play it right now. It's a short 30-second clip. It's
Okay.
like he says remain. It doesn't sound too bad after that, but like watch this right here. And like I definitely got some PTSD from like watching this one. Let's make it big, yeah.
Why? Why can't I have that half?
Oh, it's not playing.
Oh, you don't hear it?
But why
I mean, I hear it playing, but I can't see the video.
Oh, okay. Let's take
Make it bigger. Can you make it bigger? Or
That's the biggest to go.
that's
like,
the biggest. Okay.
let's take it.
Why? Why can't I have that half?
Here.
But why did you want to give me that to begin with?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's
But
literally
why-
the same sandwich cut in half.
But why didn't you want to give me that one first?
I don't care which one you want. Here, you want this one? Take it.
No, I want that one now. Please.
Which one you want now? It's the same fucking thing.
Never mind. I don't want anything.
But I done been in situations like that. Why does I won't say all of y'all, but why do some of y'all act like that, kid?
I have no. Well,
That's
that
simple,
one-
just like here's your half. Like, why did you give me the other one? Okay, you could have this one. Like, no, well, why did you give it to me in the first place? It's like, just want to be
My reason-
argumentative just for the sake of being argumentative. Now put that in the comments. I'm like, this gave me PTSD.
My reasoning behind a lot of stuff is that people see these influencers do things and when they see that, then they go like, oh, so and so did it, and then they want to, but it's like a lot of the stuff like we know people do for likes. That's the first part. And a
Right.
lot of this stuff isn't real. So then you go and you try doing it in real life and you're like,
Like
and
that was
then you
probably a
dump.
skit. That video was still like skit or not. It definitely I was triggered. Like I was pissed off for like the rest of the day after watching that. It was because
Yeah, you get dumped when you do it. So like where
I
it
definitely
goes
would not-
sideways, you
I
get or
definitely-
it goes
I
significantly
definitely you
sideways.
definitely would get dumped if you did that with me.
It's goofy for no reason.
Why did you give me that one? And then there's okay here. No, now I don't. Okay, yes. And then he just bit them both and shit
Same
like
damn
that.
thing. It's the same thing.
But I just had to wrap it up with that little comedy and shit.
Oh, and then just I don't know, like I said, if you saw or whatever. But do you remember the young lady Hydea Broadbent? You remember her?
Idea Broadbent, don't know her.
She was the one that was on Oprah when she was a little girl, the AIDS activist. Remember her? Because she was born with HIV and
I
then
don't
she
remember
had
that
full
name. I don't remember.
and then she had full-blown AIDS by the time she was 5. And they said that she wouldn't live past 5. Well, she had by the time she was 3, and then they told her that she wouldn't live to be 5 years old.
That, but she
But
just died recently.
she recently just passed away. So, and she was like a huge advocate. Like she was
How
like
old
the
did she make it to?
activist.
How old did she live to?
She was almost 40, so she died just shy of her 40th birthday, which would have been in June. So, it's been some nice tributes I've seen to her, but I just wanted to just mention that because I mean that was a big one that I saw. I remember when she did her episode on Oprah because she was, a little bit younger than me. She was a little younger than me when
That's
she
probably
did
why
her.
it stuck with you, because like it was.
And to see a girl like, she was so brave, just the way that she just was carrying herself, like she was so wise beyond her years and just carried herself so well with everything. So
The big
uh,
AIDS activist I'm familiar with is Ray Lewis Thornton. Like she contracted it from her boyfriend back then, and still alive now, probably in her 60s now. Like it's still.
she was the one who actually posted it about Hydea because like they obviously work together. They would do work
obviously
together.
they connected. Yeah.
And she was the one who posted it, who showed that we lost we had a loss.
Great soldier, yeah, we lost.
Yeah. So she posted it about her. So yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that about Heidi. Sorry to bring it down, but I mean, I said that was just the one that stuck with me, the story that stuck with me from Oprah. Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. Episode 351, Not Another Damn Podcast. Thanks for supporting us. You want to support us further, you know what to do. Give us a like. Also, subscribe, share, rate, review all your platforms. Talking Apple Podcast, Spotify, TuneIn, SoundCloud, iHeart, TLC Talk Radio. What up, Tasha?
Hey.
YouTube and your Amazon Alexa devices. You can follow me at Ozman the Wizard on Instagram, TikTok, and X, Oz Radio on Snapchat and Facebook as well.
And you can check me out, MSIMAH626 on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Also, SCR8GULAY1 on X, SCR8GULAY7 on Instagram. Also, please like the Straight Gully Facebook fan page. Check out straightgully.com for your blogs and your vlogs. And for your video production needs, check out straightgullyproductions.com.
Well, I'm Ozman the Wizard.
And Naima.
We'll talk to you later. I'm gone.